heart of the great Zambezi Valley, where the sun cast golden fire upon the river and baobabs whispered secrets to the wind, there lived a girl named Delilah. Born to a modest family of weavers in the village of Mambwe, Delilah had eyes like burning coal and a mind as sharp as the leopard's tooth. She was known across the valley not only for her beauty but for her unmatched wisdom and cunning. Elders often whispered that she was a child of the spirit stouched by the ancestors, born for something greater than the life she led. But greatness, as the old griots say, walks hand in hand with danger. The story begins on the eve of the festival of the full moon, when all the tribes of the valley gathered at the feet of the great King Jabari, a ruler so mighty that his name carried the weight of thunder. But behind his power lay a fragile kingdom, one cracked by secrets and betrayal. Rumors had begun to spread. Someone close to the king plotted his downfall, and the kingdom stood on the edge of chaos. It was during this festival that Delilah's fate became entangled with that of the king. The villagers arrived in droves, dressed in colorful kente and adorned with cowrie shells, dancing to the rhythm of djembes and ululating women. Drums echoed through the hills, and torches lit the night like constellations on earth. Delilah, standing with her family, watched as King Jabari addressed the crowd from his ivory throne, his voice resonant and commanding. "Tonight," he declared, "we honor the gods, our ancestors, and the unity of our tribes. But beware, evil hides behind friendly faces. Trust no one who smiles too often, for betrayal lurks like a shadow in the sun." His words fell like pebbles into the still waters of the people's minds. As the festival continued, Delilah wandered the palace gardens, captivated by their beauty. There, she encountered a royal guard named Kwame, who told tales of court politics and power struggles. Kwame warned her to leave before she got caught in matters too deep for a village girl. But Delilah was already intrigued. Something stirred within her, a pull, a calling. The next day, the queen's advisor was found dead. Whispers filled the palace like a gathering storm. "Poison," they said. "Treachery." The king's council was thrown into panic. King Jabari, in desperation, declared he would host a series of trials to uncover the traitor, and anyone peasant or prince could present their case before the throne. Delilah, guided by instinct, stepped forward. People laughed. A girl? From a village of weavers? But King Jabari, intrigued by her courage, allowed it. So began a game of intellect and deception. Delilah used her wit to uncover secrets hidden beneath silk robes and golden smiles. She spoke to maids, merchants, and even beggars in the market, piecing together fragments of conversations and discarded letters. With every step, she drew closer to a conspiracy that reached deeper than she imagined. She discovered that the king's own brother, Prince Mosi, was behind the plots. Bitter with envy, Mosi had allied with foreign traders and promised them control of the kingdom's diamond mines in exchange for their support. He wore a mask of loyalty, but wielded a dagger of ambition. Delilah knew she had to act carefully. One wrong step, and she would vanish like dew at sunrise. She confided in Kwame, whose loyalty and love for her had grown with each passing day. Kwame swore to protect her, even if it meant turning against his own. When Delilah brought this information to the king, he was furious not at his brother, but at her. "You lie," Jabari shouted. "You seek to poison me against my blood." Delilah was thrown into the dungeons. Rats scurried over her feet, and darkness swallowed her days. Yet she did not break. She prayed to the spirits of her ancestors and waited. Hope, like a hidden ember, glowed within her. Meanwhile, Prince Mosi accelerated his plans. He arranged for an ambush that would kill Jabari during a hunting expedition. But one of Delilah's friends, Kwame, risked his life to deliver a message to the king. The king barely escaped. Realizing the truth, Jabari stormed the dungeons himself, his eyes filled with regret. He knelt before Delilah and offered her not just an apology, but his respect. "You saw what I could not. You were born for more than weaving. You were born to lead." Together, they exposed Mosi in front of the full council. The prince was exiled, stripped of title and name. Peace returned to the land, but the king knew it would not last unless wisdom guided the throne. So he did something no king had done before. He named Delilah his chief advisor. Years passed. and under her counsel, the kingdom flourished. Rivers flowed cleaner, harvests grew richer, and peace reigned. Delilah earned the love of the people, not through beauty or status, but through integrity, courage, and the fire of truth. Yet not all accepted her. Whispers of unease grew among the elders of noble blood. A commoner guiding a king, they grumbled. They sought to undermine her influence through slander and schemes. One night, a poisoned chalice was placed in the king's quarters. It was Delilah who found it first. She said nothing. She simply laid the chalice at the foot of the throne during council. "Your enemies drink deeper than you know," she said, eyes like lightning. The council went silent. Jabari rose, lifted the chalice, and cast it to the floor, where it shattered like brittle lies. He turned to Delilah. "You have saved me more times than I can count. When I am gone, this throne will be yours." Tears welled in Delilah's eyes, but she stood tall. "Let the people choose. If I am to rule, it must be by their voice, not just yours." So a great gathering was held, a grand drum council, where every tribe sent a representative. They spoke, they debated, and finally, they voted. The decision was clear. Delilah would be queen. The coronation lasted 7 days and nights. Drummers pounded rhythms to awaken the ancestors. Dancers mimicked the flight of birds and the stalking of lions. A cloak of indigo and gold was placed upon her shoulders, and a crown of carved ebony upon her brow. Delilah, the weaver's daughter, now sat on the lion throne. Under her rule, schools flourished, markets thrived, and justice was no longer a thing bought by gold or